Okay, this week for week 3, we talked about traditional literature, and I realized the true importance of traditional literature from what I had when I was reading it. But the problem is now we've kind of got to, like in the article called it, remix it. We've got to switch things up so that it's geared toward the students of today's generation. A quote I have from the article: although traditional literacy instruction that focuses primarily on print based reading and writing is still vital for our students, it is insufficient given the multiple literacy demands of today's society. Thus, a remixing of old and new literacies has been deemed important and necessary for our students in our schools. So traditional literature is still very important, and our students today still need to learn a lot that we did from traditional literature. But now we've got to add the new to it and kind of remix it a little bit so it's geared more towards today's students, so that they're interested and that they're getting as much possible from their instruction. I'll start with the movie first, Percy Jackson's Sea of Monsters. I'll start with that one because that one actually does what I was just talking about. It has a traditional concept of the Greek gods and goddesses, but it's a twist on that. And as Percy goes through his journey to save his world and get the golden fleece, so it has the Greek gods traditional concept, but then it has a twist on that where Poseidon's son, Percy, goes and saves his world almost to get the golden fleece. And what I took from that movie is they mentioned it a few times, was creating your own destiny. Um, I actually like the movie. I've watched the other movie as well, Percy Jackson, The Lightning Thief. I watched both of those, and I think they're pretty good movies. I'll go to a different book. I read The Giver by Lewis Lowry this week. I actually really enjoyed this book. It's about a boy named Jonas and his family, and the world they live in is pretty much perfect, but he doesn't realize that until he turns 12. Everything's perfect, everything's thought of, everybody has a role in the community, so um, they don't really have choices. You're just to do what your role is. But Jonas finally realizes the truth about his community when he turns 12, because that's when you're assigned a role. And so Jonas gets assigned the role of the giver. And this is one of the most important jobs within the community. And as the giver, um, it's his job where he takes in all the memories. For nobody else has memories except for the giver. And so now Jonas will have all the memories. And when he gets all the memories, he realizes and he kind of finds the truth within his community and within his life. And he decides to take action about that. And I'm not going to give it all away, but I actually really enjoyed this book. A few quotes I took were: Jonas frowned. The whole world, he asked. I don't understand. Do you mean not just us? Not just the community? Do you mean elsewhere too? He tried in his mind to grasp the concept. I'm sorry, sir. I don't understand exactly. Maybe I'm not smart enough. I don't know what you mean when you say the whole world, or generations before him. I thought there was only us. I thought there was only now. So he doesn't understand that there's the world outside of what he lives in. And when he gets the job to receive all the memories from the giver, he's starting to see that there is the outside world and there is more than just his community. Another quote I have: I think I mentioned to you once, the giver reminded him, that when she was gone, the memories came back to the people. If you were to be lost in the river, Jonas, your memory would not be lost with you. Memories are forever. I just think that quote goes perfectly with life. Memories are forever. They might not remember, you in particular, but the memories live on, and that happens in this book. Memories live on even when the people pass away. My other book I had this week was The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I love The Great Gatsby, and I love the movie as well. Um, that's not usually how it works. Usually, the book or the movie, one of them's better. But I thought they're both terrific. I really enjoyed them. I actually read The Great Gatsby in high school, and I enjoyed it, so I wanted to read it again. And I just feel like you pick up so much more when you read it for a second time. But I really enjoyed the story of the Great Gatsby and how his life ended up. He had this extraordinary life, and then in the end, you kind of find out who's actually there for you. But a few quotes I have from the Great Gatsby is, and I like large parties. They're so intimate. At small parties, there isn't any privacy. And that just goes to all the huge, extravagant parties that he threw to get Daisy's attention. Another one. But he didn't despise himself, and it didn't turn out as he had imagined. He had intended probably to take what he could and go, but now he found that he had committed himself to the following of a grail. He knew that Daisy was extraordinary, but he didn't realize just how extraordinary a nice girl could be. She vanished into her rich house, into her rich, full life, leaving Gatsby nothing. He felt married to her. That was all. In the end, when it kind of hits him, she's off with her life that she set for herself. She's going back to that life, and he's left there. But I think it's a good traditional literature book. I really enjoyed it, and I always have. So that was this week with traditional literature and how the importance of, and that's what I took away this week, the importance of kind of remixing it so it fits today's students and everything being student led. That's another thing I took away this week, making more things student led. And maybe if we can remix it into this new, students can take more ownership in their learning. And that's this week.